What's up, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome back to another post-commentary feature match. We've got the finals. We have here Majespecter Metal Foes versus me playing Atlantean Mermail, second box tournament we had at our locals. And this is ended up being the final round after we cut to top 4. I played Dark Magician's top 4, and then finals was this. I think the other top 4 matchup was obviously Metal Foe Majespecter versus Blue Eyes. Ended up beating out Blue Eyes, and now here we are in the finals. I made a absolutely horrible misplay game too, so you guys will get to see that, and it actually cost me the game, not the match, luckily. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, because it was a pretty dumb play of mine. I just wasn't thinking ahead and made the wrong play. Like I said, we'll see that in a moment. So he's luckily got his Kieran in the pendulum scale where I want it to be, not on the field, because that's going to create a whole bunch of problems. But I think I opened Gamma Seal, so even if he did have it, I really wouldn't have cared, because he can just get rid of it, no problem. I think that was the one like safety net I had. I was able to get Kieran on board. I was fine with playing through back row, because Marksman's a card, and you have just tons of cards you can throw out there just to bait out all the back row. You'll see right here, he has a Tempest. Luckily, I still get to send for cost. I'm able to get rid of one of his wind spellcasters with Gamma Seal, so that's always nice. If you're not Gamma Sealing Kieran in this matchup, you can always Gamma Seal anything they have, just so they can use one less trap card, and it definitely, at least in some cases, will make a really big difference. It's something to definitely take account for in this particular matchup, is if you can get rid of as many of their wind spellcasters without them being able to tribute them, you're going to be in a good position. So I end up hitting the counter and the Kieran out of the scale. I want to break up his scales, so if he top decks a scale, it may not be the right scale, or if he just doesn't draw a scale, he cannot pendulum summon out that Kieran. Obviously, I want to keep it in the extra deck, and I don't think he could use Metal Foe's counter, because I know you can only activate it when a monster, I think it's a monster that has to be destroyed on your side of the field. So I don't think it would get triggered off the destruction of a pendulum scale. And this is the point of the time I was playing Jar of Avarice as well, so I'll activate that Jar of Avarice, and it actually like came in really clutch here, because now both my Dragoons are back in the deck, and I think I draw into 1-for-1. So that's a really nice draw. But I think I don't have a monster in my hand, or I might have a monster in my hand. But the great thing about, in theory, for Jar of Avarice is it can recycle your Dragoons and your Norden to be able to obviously have a late game really strong play with Neptibus to sort of make more plays, because late game Neptibus can suck sometimes, as I'm sure most of you know. So he's got Ogama, gets the search off that, and I think he grabs the one that targets a Majespecter, and it gets double the attack. So that one I think is sitting at 1200. And my Megalo is at 32. Luckily I have the Neptibus, which I think I drew into for turn, which is obviously another really, really clutch draw. So we got Megalo and Infantry in hand, sending that Dragoons, which is glared out, of course, in that one spot. But we're getting some searches going here, thanks to that Jar of Avarice, though. Making that Neptibus that much better, because I'm able to get double Dragoons. There is the not exactly sure what that one is called, but it does. I want to say Majespecter Sonic. I think that's what it's called, although I could be wrong. I might be confusing that with something else, but it does get double the attack, and it's able to get negated by Mizuchi, but he has another one, so it's now up to 2400. Megalo can't deal with it, so I have to make a bit of a weird play. I tribute away the Dragoons, get a search. I think I go for Diva here, just to kind of set up for next turn to get a quick synchro play if I need it. But it doesn't really matter too much, because I'm able to go into Red Eye's Flare, attack over that for 400 points of damage, and now he is on sort of a clock, if you would, because how much he's able to do is now limited by Red Eye's Flare. And I think he ends up scooping there. Had the set sphere as well, so I was definitely ready to play defensively. So if anything was able to get rid of that Red Eyes Flare, because it can't be destroyed by card effect. So I had that Lin to at least back it up. Now here is a weird first turn on my behalf. He asked me to go first. I open Instant Fusion Dragoons, but no way to get the Dragoons to the graveyard. Kind of a slow start. And there's a lot of times where like this will happen, where you have this Instant Fusion and Dragoons, but you gotta like just normal summon the Dragoons and then bring out Norden. And I think that is wasteful of Instant Fusion. So what I've done now with my current build, and I will be updating it very shortly. I will be doing that updated build for Mermails, but one thing I added in the extra deck was a Carbanola Warrior, so Instant Fusion target that's not Norden. So one, it helps to make rank 4s late game, and if you like a situation right there, if you don't need Norden, you just need another level 4, Carbanola Warrior comes in really handy right there instead of having to waste the Norden. And then obviously late game, having Instant Fusion, having access to that card instead of just drawing as a deck card, you still have that Norden play completely live. So one really great change I made to the extra deck as of recently that I'm really happy with, and it's definitely worked so far, and in theory it's definitely a good idea. In the matches that I've been testing, it's been working out really well. So he's got his Scales, Bambuku in the extra deck there, face up, Pendulum Summon, do Bambuku, and a Kieran. So basically his engine is already pretty much going at this point, full power. It's doing what it wants to do, using Kieran's effect to return a Bambuku and my Dweller back to the extra deck, swinging for the other two. I think 2,200 or 2,000 and like 1,400. I'm not sure their stats exactly. So I Gamma Seal the Kieran, no problem. We'll get that card out of here. And I think a lot of his back rows are bluffs right now, but I'm kind of playing it off as if they're like all the traps in the world, like Tempest and Tornado. So I normal summon infantry just to kind of bait it out, then Diva, and I'm like, alright, I'll go for Neptibus now. And I'm basically thinking like, okay, well, if there was any serious back row, he would have activated by now, because stopping the infantry would have been the best bet, or even just the Diva, getting rid of that and leaving me with just an infantry would have been the best bet. So now I'm kind of thinking, alright, there's not too much there, or maybe he's saving it for the Megalo, because of course, that's a decent field as is, but once the Megalo comes out, that's really what's going to end up attacking for game. But I make a really bad misplay right there, and that's what it is. I synchro into Herald the Arclight, and I realize it immediately, and I'm like, well, now I can't summon my Megalo, and I'm kind of a little upset with myself. I still even look back at it now, even though this was like 2 weeks ago. I still look back at it, and I'm thinking, like, what was going through my mind? All I literally had to do was summon this Megalo and ditch these two marksmans that I had in my hand, hit two of his back row, and literally just go for game. But I give myself another opportunity here. I ride Geki, destroys Gamma Seal, he activates Metal Foe's counter. What I could have done here is negated Metal Foe's counter and got my Herald off the field, and was able to summon. I would be able to summon Megalo then, but I just didn't do that for some reason. Again, at this point, I was already really frustrated that I had made Herald when I wasn't supposed to, so that just must have slipped my mind. So, and I just go on to lose from here, which really sucks. But he's got his Metal Foe's monster. I'm not sure exactly of its name. And he's got another Bambuku search coming down. He can search himself another Majespecter monster. I'm debating on whether or not I want to negate it, whether or not the negation of it really matters. So he adds the Fox. He's got full scales. He can summon out Kieran, and he does Pendulum Summon, I believe, Kieran as well as the Fox. And it's pretty much just game over from here. I'll let the search go through, because whether or not I negate it or not, like, it doesn't matter. He's still going to be able to get the Herald off the field either way. And we're definitely just going to have to go to game 3, because he's adding a Tempest, so now he's like set up just in case he doesn't kill me this exact turn. since I already burned that Raigeki. Not even that Raigeki matters in this matchup. So yeah, his Metal Post Fusion in hand. So that's another card I'll have to worry about. He goes to swing over Neptibus. And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I really screwed up. So we're just going to go game 2. And yeah, I wanted to see what his back row was that I was playing so carefully around. And you just saw there, it was just a freaking MST and irrelevant like Majespecter quick play card that doubles the attack of a Majespecter. So was kind of psyching myself out and went a little too far ahead and made the wrong play. But he ends up, I don't think he opened up too well this game as far as like, you know, making Majespecter plays go. So he activates Metal Post Fusion, discards I think a Silvered and something else to go for the really big Metal Post monster, the one with 3,000 attack, not the Adamante, which I think is the better one, but opting to go with the one that has the most attack. And just gonna leave that on field. And it sucks that he had to use both of his cards from hand, because then they go to the graveyard. He's got a set monster and I think a set counter. So at this point, my hand is like decent enough to the point where I can play through it, discarding a Dragoons and an Infantry for that Megalo, and targeting his face-up Fusion and going for the Search off Dragoons, adding Mizuchi, and be able to get that Fusion monster off the board in just a second. But I'm able to get these searches, and I grab Diva because I need to OTK, I feel like, right now. I feel like that's what I need to do, or else I'm going to just get Dougie on next turn. So he activates Counter to summon out another Metal Post once his Fusion dies. So I believe a monster was destroyed inside the field, so he can activate that properly. Go for Diva. Diva's going to go uninterrupted, no back row. I know he doesn't play any hand traps, so I'm just going to go in for Neptibus. Neptibus can send. I'm pretty sure I have another Dragoons in deck, so I can do that. Or I can send a Marksman like I do there to hit. I think that's another Silver, or may or may not be. Hit a Metal Foes card regardless. Send Marksman, add Marksman. Tribute away Neptibus for a double attack. Go for Coral Dragon. Discard the useless Moray. Pop the Metal Foe, swinging for 32, 32, and 24. And I win myself another box tournament. Two consecutive box tournaments in a row for me. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. But, get this. Just before we wrap this video up, get this. I win the box, he gets 12 packs, and he pulls a Pot of Desires out of his 12 packs. I pull a Coral Dragon, my second Coral Dragon pulling out of a box, and the Forceful Checkpoint are my 2 secret rares. So I was kind of salty about that, but I'll take the victory over what I pull over a box. So anyways, yeah, that's how that went. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. So maybe that misplay I made game 2 was actually like kind of swerving me in the right direction to get that Pot of Desires, but oh well, can't change it now. It's in the past, and it's in the past, I guess. Although, yeah, had fun though. It was a great tournament, and definitely looking forward to more of those. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like if you enjoyed. If you enjoyed the commentary and the footage, as always, guys, Wonder Kills signing out. We'll definitely see you in the next one.